Hey guys, Fletch here, bringing you another Fletch Talks video, and this video is concerning the Champions League draw for the knockout stages of the 2020-2021 season. Yes, last week the group stages of this year's competition were concluded, 16 teams progressed, and today marked the day of the round of 16 draw. The draw where 16 teams go into a round, going to a pot, get drawn out, and the knockout stages will begin. The competition resumes obviously in mid-February. That's when the first leg will be played, and then at the beginning of March the second leg will be played. And let me tell you, it has thrown up some very intriguing, interesting and exciting, tasty fixtures that are ready and waiting for when this competition does resume. So without further ado, let's get into talking and analysing them. We're going to begin with the game that obviously my personal affiliation with, the one that obviously piqued my interest for obvious reasons, and that is of course Liverpool. They were drawn against RB Leipzig in the round of 16 draw. Liverpool, of course, topped their group, which consisted of Atalanta, Ajax and Midtjylland. So they managed to top their group, and their reward for topping their group is a tie against Leipzig, who are, of course, the team that knocked out Manchester United from this competition in their group. A return to Germany for Jurgen Klopp, and, of course, a return to Leipzig for Reds midfielder Naby Keita will be the subplots to this tie. But this is set up to be a very interesting and a very exciting fixture between these two. Not just because of the managers, because of course this is a top-class manager in Jurgen Klopp taking on an up-and-coming manager in Julian Nagelsmann, who's of course drawing a lot of attention and a lot of plaudits for his work that he's doing in Germany with Leipzig. So that will be intriguing. But of course this is going to be contested between two teams who love to get the ball down and play some quick and entertaining football. So definitely will be one for the neutrals to look out for. Leipzig have a lot of talented youngsters in their squad, of course. They've got a lot of players to look out for, particularly defensively, with the likes of Diop and Upamecano and Ibrahima Konate. Both, of course, coincidentally rumoured to be on Liverpool's wish list in terms of transfers or future transfer windows. But I'm sure that on the day, or days, should I say, for first and second leg, this will be an exciting encounter and one to certainly look out for. But assuming that Liverpool have a close to full strength squad at their disposal for when this fixture comes, I honestly see them doing the job here and getting the job done and progressing to the quarterfinals. And now we come to what is arguably the main event of this round of fixtures, the tie of this round, the draw of this round, as Barcelona and PSG have been drawn together again. By the time the second leg of this round comes, it will actually be 3 years to the day since Barcelona performed that phenomenal and extraordinary comeback at the Nou Camp, where PSG won the first leg by 4-0 but couldn't get the job done in the second leg, and Barcelona went on to win that game in incredible fashion, 6-1 on the night, 6-5 on aggregate, and Barcelona progressed to the next round. That night, of course, Sergi Roberto was the hero. He scored the all-important goal that saw Barcelona go through to the next round, whilst Neymar put in a quality man-of-the-match performance for Barcelona. But fast forward 3 years later to the present day, and things are very different now. For example, Neymar is now on the other side of the fence. He's playing for PSG, having left Barcelona. And Barcelona themselves have all sorts of problems both on and off the pitch, as the once super heavyweight of European football are looking at their most weak and most vulnerable. Messi and Neymar reunite together. Messi very well could be joining him and Kylian Mbappe next season at PSG if certain rumours are to come to fruition. Last season's runners-up in this competition, though, PSG, probably smell blood here within this Barcelona side, and exacting revenge for that humiliating loss 3 years ago will be certainly on their minds, I'm sure. And to be honest, let's face it, with everything that's going on right now with Barcelona, I can honestly see that happening, and I'd be willing to put money on PSG knocking Barcelona out and heaping more pressure and misery onto Ronald Koeman. And that is, of course, assuming that things continue in the downward spiral that both manager and club are currently going on right now. So my prediction is PSG to progress, exact revenge on Barcelona, and progress to the quarterfinals. Next, we will see Frank Lampard's Chelsea take on Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid. Chelsea smoothly sailed through to this stage of the competition in comfortable fashion, as their group stage was a pretty easy one, to say the least, whilst Atletico were favourites to qualify along with Bayern Munich in their group, and that is exactly what happened, even after the German side did manage to thump them 4-0 on the opening game of the group stages. The Blues will obviously know a lot of familiar faces within the Atletico ranks, the likes of Kieran Trippier and Lucas Torreira. The Blues will know from their time playing against them, with Trippier playing for Tottenham, of course, and Torreira playing for Arsenal, whilst Diego Costa is another player that Atletico have at their disposal. He, of course, was a former Chelsea player himself, and, of course, their main man up front, Luis Suarez, they will know from their time at Liverpool. And it's not just personnel-wise, of course. They will know what Diego Simeone is about. They will know how he likes his teams to set up in that very well drilled, extremely disciplined defensive style he likes to play and he likes to approach games with. If you remember last year, of course, Atletico were the team that knocked out the then holders Liverpool using that same kind of tactic, and it worked to great effect there. Liverpool got knocked out in this stage of the competition last year, so they will need to be wary of that. This is certainly a tie that could go either way. Either team definitely could win this in either leg, to be honest. So it will be a fascinating tie to watch for neutrals, especially. It will obviously have two contrasting styles of play and a lot of talent on show from both teams. A lot of young and exciting talent both teams have at their disposal. But if I had to choose right now as to who progresses, I think given the experience and the extremely well-drilled and disciplined style, I think that will probably give Atletico the edge in this game, and that is exactly why I think Atletico may just edge this game and progress here. I wouldn't be shocked if Chelsea go through. I wouldn't be shocked if Frank Lampard manages to pull this one out the bag. But if I had to call it right here, right now, I'd say that Atletico go through and they progress. Next, we come to Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, who were drawn against German side Borussia Mönchengladbach. Again, for City, it was smooth sailing for them in the group stages. They managed to go through with very few problems within their group stage matches, with 5 wins and a draw from their group games. Whilst Mönchengladbach, they were drawn in a bit of a group of death situation, along with the likes of Inter Milan, Real Madrid, and Shakhtar Donetsk. But the entire group was very inconsistent throughout. It came so much down to the final game of the group stage, where any two of them 4 sides could have actually went on to progress should the results have gone their way. But in the end, it was Mönchengladbach and Madrid that went through in that group. I think overall, we're kind of all thinking the same kind of thing here. City will need to be wary, no doubt about it, of Mönchengladbach's attacking threats and defensively. But in the end, Guardiola wants and needs this competition. The fact that he's not got past the quarter-final stages of the competition since taking over as City manager is completely baffling to us all. And yes, City will be favourites to go on and win this competition. They will be one of the favourites to win this competition, I'm sure, along with the likes of Liverpool and Bayern Munich. And they have got a favourable tie here to help that progression. But they will still need to be cautious nonetheless and make sure that they don't slip up again as they have done in previous years. And although I'd like to be proven wrong, I'm almost certain that City will progress to the quarterfinals here. Elsewhere, you've got the current holders of this competition, Bayern Munich. They were drawn against Italian side Lazio. Again, nothing is ever a given, especially this season, but you'd be either brave or extremely stupid to bet against Bayern Munich for this game in qualifying. Could this Bayern Munich side go on to retain the Champions League? They certainly have the squad to do it, and they are definitely, as I've said before, are one of the favourites to go on and win the competition again. Whether they do or not remains to be seen, but they are definitely one of the favourites to go on and retain their Champions League crown. You've also got Cristiano Ronaldo's Juventus. They will be taking on Portuguese side Porto. Not overly convincing so far domestically wise from Juventus, but they were very comfortable in progressing to this round of the competition in their group stage games. A group stage, of course, that also saw Barcelona qualify in their group as well. But again, for this game, I think you'd have to go with the favourites here in Juventus coming out on top in this encounter, and especially with Ronaldo in their ranks. I can't really bet against the old lady here. Also, you have Atalanta taking on Real Madrid. It was not overly convincing by Madrid by any means of the imagination this season in terms of both Europe and domestically. They only just managed to scrape through to this round of the competition in their group stages, if you remember correctly. They obviously ran into a lot of problems, and it came down to the final game of that group stage. They only just managed to scrape through. Whilst for Atalanta, they qualified along with Liverpool. They had Liverpool in their group, and they qualified in that group. And they even managed to beat the Reds with an exceptional performance from them. So they're not to be taken lightly here. Of course, the Italian side won a lot of plaudits last season, particularly for their great attacking threat and their high amount of goal scoring. And against a more vulnerable Madrid side, they can definitely hurt the Spanish Giants here. So this game isn't a given to Madrid by any means, as it would be in probably previous years. And definitely would be a game to certainly look out for. And one where I may go against the odds here and predict that if things continue as they are doing, I'm going to say that Atalanta will progress here. I'm going to say that Atalanta will shock and maybe even, with all due respect, upset Madrid here, and that they will progress. A bit of an out there and different opinion and prediction, I get you, but I genuinely think an upset could be on the cards in this encounter. And finally, we have Sevilla against Borussia Dortmund, the Spanish club drawing against the German club. Sevilla, known for how well they normally do in European competitions, particularly the Europa League, take on the German side, who for years have constantly been my dark horse picks for this competition. And who knows, maybe they will surprise people this year, who knows. But with a new manager coming in at Dortmund within the past 24 hours of making this video, things are a bit up in the air right now and a bit unknown. But one thing I do know, whenever Erling Haaland is on the pitch, he is more likely to score, and Dortmund will definitely have a chance in any game. They've always got a chance. They've always got a chance, especially with that man up front. Sevilla are a nice footballing side, don't get me wrong, so this one will be a nice game to watch. I just think when you consider that the other games in this round will be bigger and arguably more appealing just for face value, this one may get lost in a bit of the shuffle a little bit, this game, so this one may be not be highly considered or high on your priority list to watch, and it's easy to see why. But it should be a great game nonetheless, and I'm going to predict that Dortmund will be the team to progress to the final 8. But of course, this is just one man's thoughts and one man's opinions on this particular topic. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of all of these games? What do you make of the round of fixtures? What do you make of the group stages so far? What do you make of each individual team? And most importantly, who do you think will go on to win the Champions League this season? Leave your thoughts, comments, predictions, opinions down below in the comment section. I'm sure they'll all make for interesting reading. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things will be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I will see you, speak with you all again soon in another video.